Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the g.i.o podcast. Your host, Country Boy, here to give you a little recap of Week 2, Fantasy Football Edition, and give you a little preview for Week 3. In Week 2 was better than Week 1. I went undefeated in all my teams, 3-0 across the board. Some big players for me that came through were Nick Chubb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashad Bateman. They came through for me. Some of my duds, my Trey Lance experience failed. I thought he was going to have a Jalen Hurts type year, second year QB, but he got hurt. So that hurt my team, but I was still able to come through in the end. Gabe Davis being out kind of hurt my team. Alvin Kamara, Michael Pittman, all of them were on my teams, but that's why you have a deep bench. People like A.J. Dillon, Isaiah McKenzie, and Mike Williams came through for me in the end. So another great week. We're going to look forward to Week 3. Just finished watching the Browns-Steelers game. Nick Chubb had a huge game for me. And I actually had drafted Njoku. I thought he was having a big year. Dropped him after Week 1. Then tonight he comes through with 8 catches, a TD. So he may or may not be somebody you want to look for on the waiver wire next week. But looking forward to Week 3. I'm just going to go through the games, give you some of my start sits. And then like every weekend, I'll post a question on g.i.o Podcast Instagram page. If you have any start sit questions, you can hit me up on there. This video will also be posted to YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, how to make the channel better. Let's get this thing going. So like every episode, we toast to the pod. Let's get to it. So on Sunday, we have Houston and Chicago. For Houston, the only player I'm starting is Brandon Cooks. I had, like many of you, I got big hype on Dameon Pierce coming into the season, but I'm not expecting him to come through until late season for me. So until the second half of the season, once he has an established role in the offense, that's when I'm starting. So Brandon Cooks is the only person from Houston I'm going to start. For Chicago, nobody. I expect big things from Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet this year, but so far, they're looking like they're going to be droppable players. This is their last week to prove themselves. Then we have the Raiders at the Titans. For the Raiders, the only person I'm starting is Devontae Adams. He's still beasting like he was in Green Bay. Derek Carr still hasn't got it going. Hopefully this will be the week for that. Tennessee, the only person who could really start is Derrick Henry, but so far he has not had the season that you are expecting. The O-line doesn't look good. Hopefully, I'm expecting that they'll put Malik Willis in there at QB later on in the season. I think he has the fantasy potential for you late in the season. Kansas City at Indianapolis. Of course, you're starting my homeboy. CEH, of course. Kelsey, of course. Wide receivers. Juju may have a little bit of flex play for you, but that's it. For Indy, the only person I would start, of course, JT at running back. If Pittman plays, you have to start him. He has wide receiver more potential going up against KC. You know it's going to be a high-scoring game. They're going to be down. I would not start Matt Ryan at all. Buffalo at Miami, this should be a shootout. If Tua can repeat his performance from last week, which I don't think he will, but this will be a proof of game for Tua. For Buffalo, of course, you're going to start the QB. You're going to start Diggs. The Gabe Davis plays, you're going to start him. For Miami, if you had the Trey Lance at QB, you had Dak, and you had the flex player for this week, Tua might be where you want to go. Of course, you're going to start Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Then Detroit at Minnesota. This should be the highest scoring game of the weekend. I'm expecting both teams to put up at least 30. I will start every offensive position so that I will start Goff, I will Swift, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hawkinson, Minnesota, Cousin Kirk, Dalvin Cook, of course Justin Jefferson, Thielen, or Smith. I'm starting everybody. I'm expecting everybody to go off this game. Play everybody except the defenses, even the kickers. I'll play the kickers too. It's going to be a dome game. Then we have Baltimore and New England. For Baltimore, of course, you're going to start Lamar. You're going to start Mark Andrews and Bateman. For the Patriots, the only person I will play is Jacoby Myers until we get a little bit more clarity in the backfield. For Cincinnati at the Jets. For Cincy, you're going to start the whole offense. Still got to go with Joey B. Still got to go with Mixon. Still got to go with Chase. And even Boyd has some flex play. And also T. Higgins. For the Jets, I'm not starting anybody. Just like Damian Pierce, I believe Breece Hall will come through for you late in the season. I don't believe that Garrett Wilson, I don't believe in him yet. I'll see what he does for another week and see if that's going to do something. But I really want to see what he does when Zach Wilson gets back. Philly at the Commanders. For Philly, you're going to start the whole offense. Hurts, Sanders, A.J. Brown, Goddard. You're going to start all of those. For the Commanders, Carson Wentz has been balling so far this year. We're going to see how long that holds up. You're going to start Antonio Gibson. Also, you're going to start McLaurin. And also, I'm going to play Josh Dotson this week. He's been having those for the end zone so far. We're going to see if that holds up. Jags at the Chargers. For the Jaguars, Lawrence may have some appeal. Just like I said earlier, you had the Lance, Dak. You had those as your QBs, and they're hurt right now. Lawrence may not be a bad flex to go to for this week. And Christian Kirk. For the Chargers, hopefully Herbert is good to go. If he is not, I wouldn't play anybody except Eckler and possibly Keenan Allen. But if he's a go, I'm going to go with that whole offense. Herbert, Allen, Mike Williams, Gerald Everett, all of them are a go for this week. Then you have the Rams at the Cardinals. For the Rams, start the whole offense. Stafford, Kupp, the backfield, flex play. Right now, I'll go with Henderson over Akers, and I will also go with the tight end Higbee. For the Cardinals, you got to start Murray. Still got to go with Hollywood. James Conner is, if he's a no-go for this week, I would not start any of those running backs. The Falcons at Seattle. This will probably be the worst game of the week, low scoring. Both teams will probably be under 20, slow pace. They don't run that many plays a game. I personally have drafted Kyle Pitts this week. If he doesn't go off this week, I am dropping him. But I don't even think I'm going to start Kyle Pitts this week. He has to show me something. I'm putting him on the bench. I'm going for a flex play. Somebody like Evan Ingram, Logan Thomas, Everett. I'm going for somebody like that off my bench this week. I'm benching Pitts. So for the Falcons, I'll do London as a flex, and that's it. For Seattle, I'm not starting any of those players. Gino, DK, Tyler, Lockett, I'm not starting any of those. Rashad Penny, I'm not going with any of those. They play way too slow. They don't run that many plays. Nothing explosive, and it's going to be against the Falcons. I don't want anybody from that game really. Then you have Rodgers versus Brady. I'm not starting any of those QBs. Hopefully you have a better flex play. I'll go with somebody like Goff or Cousins this week. I would bench both Brady and Rodgers. I just think their defenses it's going to be a defensive game. I will play the kickers. I think it's going to be a field goal, 12-9 type of game. I will play Fournette. No idea who Brady's going to be throwing to. I guess you could say Russell Gage would be his wide receiver one, but I would not play him in fantasy. For Green Bay, if Lazard plays, I would do flex play for him. And of course, you got to go to running backs, Dillon and Jones. Then we have San Fran and Denver. Only question I would do from San Fran is Debo. If Kittle is a go this week, I would not start him this week. I'll give it a week, see how he is with Jimmy G. For Denver, I would just play Sutton. And of course, you got to go to running back Williams, and Gordon has some flex potential. And then Monday night, we have the Cowboys versus the Giants. For Dallas, you got to do CeeDee Lamb as a flex. I actually have Pollard over Zeke right now. He just looks more explosive in his offense. But for the Giants, the only person you can really play with confidence is Saquon. So that's just a rundown of my start six for the week. Let me know, like, comment, subscribe on the page. Like I said, I'll be posting the start sit questions for this weekend. Send me over your questions, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you for watching the g.i.o podcast. Y'all have a good night.